Sawadee Krap. Today's Thursday, May 5th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by ppcphuket.com. The head of the Phuket Public Health Office is saying that the island could be ready for COVID-19 to finally be designated as endemic. Dr. Kusa Kukiatikun, the top health official on the island, says that island officials will propose to the Center of COVID-19 Situation Administration in Bangkok, the CCSA, to declare COVID-19 an endemic disease due to declining numbers of cases here on the island, although he was concerned with the slow progress of providing booster vaccinations to high-risk people, including the elderly, pregnant women, and those with underlying health conditions. At the moment, Dr. Kusak says only 52% of senior citizens in Phuket had booster shots. In order to designate COVID as an endemic disease, the death ratio must not exceed 1 in 1,000 people infected, or 0.1%, and more than 60% of the population must have received full vaccine doses. At the moment, Phuket has reached the first target, as officials reported less than 0.1% fatality rate for the island over the last 2 weeks, and Dr. Kusak said that 89% of the Phuket population has had 2 vaccine shots. That's just over 482,000 people, with 67% of the population of Phuket having received their booster dose, or just over 326,000 people. This is why his office is proposing endemic designation in Phuket. But he did say that the goal is to have senior citizens' booster vaccination rates reach 60%, up from the 52% that currently exists. Earlier this week, the Public Health Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul in Bangkok, he announced that the government is expected to declare COVID an endemic disease in all of Thailand in early July. It all comes as the government in Bangkok this morning announced fewer than 10,000 confirmed new COVID cases for the 4th consecutive day, just under 9,800, while the death toll dropped to 52, the lowest since early March for the whole nation. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Some 50 homeless residents who were evicted from land in Chalong and then again evicted from land near Rasadap here in Phuket town, they've set up camp in front of the new Phuket Provincial Hall this week in a plea to be allowed to live on state land that isn't being used. These residents were once part of the Sa Ton Pho community, a name that means Body Tree Pond, and basically describes the original land they lived on Chalong's Mu 3 area, which was unused land around a natural pond. However, the group was evicted from their land by the landowner, but were later granted permission by the head of the Department of Marine and Coastal Resources in Phuket to live on 50 rai, or just over 19 acres, of unused land near the Rasada Pier in Sri Sutat Road in Phuket town. After they moved into that area, the Phuket Obojo, also known as the Phuket Provincial Administration Organization, the PPHO, they filed legal action to have the residents vacate the unused state land. In protest, the 50 out of the roughly 80 people who still live in the community have set up camp in front of the new provincial hall and submitted a formal request to the Phuket Governor Narongmun Cheo to resolve the issue, saying they only want to live on 4.5 rai out of the 50 total rai of unused land, or 1.7 acres out of the 19.7 acres total. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Education officials say that as many as 35,000 schools across Thailand could finally reopen their doors for onsite classes starting May 17. May 17th is the start of the new academic year in Thailand, and it could finally be the day that almost all schools nationwide reopen for on-site learning, as many schools around the country had relied on online learning or a mix of online and in-class instruction during the whole pandemic. Officials are urging school staff around the country to urge parents to get their children vaccinated and explain the benefits of COVID vaccinations as well as the booster shots, with officials hoping to increase the double dose and booster rates among students between the ages of 5 and 18 to 60%. As for self-testing, officials agreed that students, teachers, and school officials only need to perform an ATK test if they develop COVID symptoms or are at risk of contracting the virus, instead of having to take the test every 3 to 5 days as required previously. The main education ministry in Bangkok is instructing provincial education offices to arrange sanitization in schools and clean equipment for students. According to the Public Health Ministry, at the end of last month, vaccinations among children between the ages of 5 to 11 had only reached 50% of the estimated target of 5.1 million. Meanwhile, just over 90% of kids between 12 and 17 years old, about 3.9 million, are fully vaccinated. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. A proposal by labor advocacy groups to increase the daily minimum wage to 492 baht is drawing stiff opposition from entrepreneurs who fear the hike in a volatile economy will deal a blow to businesses. The last minimum wage increase was in January of 2020, when it rose to a range of 313 baht to 336 baht, according to labor advocates. While the government is considering an appropriate pay raise, Tani Sorat, the vice chairman of the Employers Confederation of Thai Trade and Industry, said wages should be increased if the inflation rate exceeds 5% and reeling businesses post a full recovery. Meanwhile, Marisa Sukosol Nungbakdi, the president of the Thai Hotels Association, said that now is not the right time to raise the rate for tourism workers, as the industry is only gradually recovering after a massive blow during the 2-year pandemic crisis. For more, visit the link in the description. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday edition of Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphukets.com. Join us again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.